What up? It's 929 WDUP, New London's home of timeless hip-hop and R&B. It's your boy Mike Mitch Ill. Special guest checking in, man. We got my man DJ Blast checking in all the way from Seattle, man. What's going on, bro?
What's up? How y'all doing?
So yeah, here to talk about the first Afrobeats festival in Seattle, the Blast Fest, man. Let's talk about that. Let's get into it, man.
I've been DJing for quite some time. I've had the opportunity to DJ a couple festivals and concerts all over the country, really kind of all over the world. I would always come back home to Seattle. I live here now, and we weren't doing anything in the city at this scale or at the magnitude. And I was like, we got to change that up, So I tapped into my bag of connects, and we made something happen. And I'm excited. We're 30 days away from creating the first large scale Afrobeats festival in the city of Seattle.
Yeah, for like the things you can actually give away. You know what I mean? I'm sure you got something tucked in that you don't want to put out there. You know what I mean? But what can people expect from it?
Okay, so when you think about, what Blast Fest is going to look like, number one, the headline is Asake, right? Asake is the hottest Afrobeats artist out right now. If you think about it holistically, Rolling Stones just named him one of the number one artists to look for over the next decade, right? Beyond Asake, we have Tiwa Savage. She performed at the King's Coronation, right? She's the queen of Afrobeats. We got Ira Starr, the blossoming, princess of Afrobeats, basically. Vocalistic, he's representing Amapiano. So no matter what sort of Afrobeat you like, we're going to have you covered, It's going to be at the Space Needle. So that's the most iconic building in all of Seattle. I know you East Coasters haven't made your way, to the West yet, but come enjoy yourself, have a great time, and see what it means to, really show what Afrofuturism is at its finest.
I mean, our tickets for sale already? How long they been on sale? What's the expected turnout?
So expect turnout is 8,000 people. We're really trying to bring everybody out. We started sales end of April, and we almost there already. Again, 30 days away. So we're finna make some crazy things happen.
Yeah, talk about the music scene out in Seattle just in general.
Yeah, so Seattle is known historically for grunge, right? That's where it started from. That's its big claim to fame. Also, Macklemore's from here, Sir Mix-a-Lot's from here, Ray Charles, he started his career here, Quincy Jones, Jet Li, all these random people, right, coming out of Seattle. But historically, outside of the Sir Mix-a-Lot and Ray Charles, that was kind of all the Black artists that you saw on the national scale. Right, and so the hope is now Seattle gets another rep through this Afrobeats festival for being another pioneer of a new genre. Right, I strongly believe whatever makes it from Seattle can make it to the world.
Yeah, I mean, you just named a whole bunch of legends, man. A lot of people wouldn't even know they had Seattle roots, man. How did you end up there? Kind of give you a background, how you got started, how you ended up in Seattle, and up to the point where you at right now.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Lagos, Nigeria. Came from Lagos and I moved to Dallas, right? After I graduated college, I made my way to Seattle to work for Microsoft. I get to Seattle, I'm engineering in Microsoft, we're doing the whole vibe, and there's no social life, it felt like. In everything that we was trying to do, there was nobody that was playing hip hop, R&B, Afrobeats, reggae, none of that. So I was like, well, let's see what can happen. At this point, I had never DJ'd a day in my life. This is in 2015, bro. 2016. Never DJ'd, didn't know nothing about it. I just wanted to figure it out. And, I wanted to start having events, and I was like, I'm a DJ so I could save on expenses, right? And that's kind of how it developed, And from there, I had the opportunity to DJ for Pitbull and Dua Lipa, Sean Paul, all these different people started traveling the world. This is really a thing, my career is growing, I can do more with it. And then that's when I really honed in on Afrobeats. I started DJing for Wizkid and Burna Boy, and in 2018, 2019, and I was like, okay, we're really growing something here, And so over the past 3 years, I've been, working on building this festival here in the city of Seattle.
Yeah, man. Well, again, we're here with DJ Blast, OG Blast, First Afrobeats festival going down Seattle, the Blast Fest, you know what I'm saying? And what was your first big connection? I mean, you just ran down a whole laundry list of your big names. How did you get your first link, man? What was that first one?
Man, the first link, crazy enough, was Pitbull. Pitbull was the very first one. And it came from Microsoft. So a couple of people at Microsoft heard that I had started DJing, and it was like, hey, we're having a concert in Seattle. We need a DJ that's going to play hip hop because, all the Microsoft events at that point in time were more pop leaning, right? And they wanted more just diversity in sound. And so I was like, yeah, I could do that, no problem. And so I had the opportunity to DJ, and I went from doing rooms at 200 and 300 to now doing a room at 7,500. you know? And so I walk in, I'm like, oh, it's crazy, you know, and I get a chance to meet Pitbull. Now at that show, that now turned into an opportunity for me to meet Trey Songz. Right, so I did Trey Songz show here in Seattle, which led to me doing Nas's tour, the Illmatic tour back in 2019 into 2020, and that was kind of like the funnel that really opened everything up because I got the opportunity to do Oakland Arena, you know, in San Francisco or in Oakland, and yeah, the people I met there, you know, that's where I met the Too Shorts of the world, you know, the Method Mans, and that changed the game.
Man, that's crazy. So like, all right, so you over here at Microsoft, you like probably the cool dude on campus, you know what I mean? So I work in the biotech world outside radio, so it's like I know how it is kind of be the cool dude on campus. So it's like, it went from that to like you actually DJing for these big names, like, you know, just I get asked to DJ too, like, you know, I do like the, you know, the interviews, you know, the content, but I really don't know how to DJ. I be getting asked to DJ. Like, at what point did you go from being an amateur to actually being nice? And like, you know, like what did you like do to actually become elite to the point where these big names want to deal with you?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think even till today, like when people ask me, I still say I'm getting started. You know, like I think like that curiosity to learn more never really stopped, bro. Again, I've done rooms now again with the Oracle Arena at 40K. You know, and I still feel like I'm a starter. I still feel like I'm learning. I feel like every time I hear another DJ, I'm taking notes. You know, I would really actually argue like at no point do I ever, at least not now, I don't feel like I've made it, you know? But I think in a lot of ways, you know, when things started changing, it was after that, like maybe third or fourth show, like, because the first two could have been a fluke, like just kind of happened, you know, but when I kept getting booked and I kept getting more opportunities, you know, I became increasingly more thankful to God. And I think people started viewing me in that light, like, oh, he's really only doing shows now, you know, he's only doing concerts or only doing festivals. And so the bookings kind of came along that way. And then this year I got the opportunity to be blessed as the Mariners DJ, which is the baseball team. So
hey, you just read my mind. I was gonna ask you about that, man. What's that like, man? The official DJ to Seattle Mariners. We're not gonna gloss over that, man. Speak on that.
Yeah, it's been crazy, bro. You know, like All-Star Weekend, baseball All-Star Weekend is next weekend here in Seattle. You know, and I'm the DJ for that too. You know, so it's real cool to like now step into this complete corporate bag of DJing. You know, like DJing, you know, for concerts and shows are one thing, but when you DJ for a major league team, you know, the stakes are high. The opportunity to grow is high. You know, and I'm really grateful for the exposure that I'm getting and the people I'm getting to meet through this opportunity.
Yo, I could imagine, especially in MLB game, because it might be different than NBA. You know what I mean? You might have a little bit more leeway even with the NFL. MLB, you know what I'm saying? That's America's an apple pie right there. Like, yo, how do you, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you kind of get in your bag where it kind of fits for that platform?
So, and that's the cool thing about MLB too. I think they're also in this phase where they're diversifying, right? Like this year, we're seeing the very first HBCU Classic in baseball. Oh, wow. You know, like, you know, there's never been this super diverse thoughts about baseball holistically, you know, when we think about it. And so we're seeing this drive towards more diverse. So I have a lot more leeway, especially with the Mariners. Like, they give me the opportunity to do a lot more than I probably would have been able to do in years past, right? So everyone was joking this past week, and I had a whole Afrobeat set, and they're like, this is probably the first time Afrobeats has ever come out of these speakers, you know? You know? But also, like, I'm diverse in you know, in thought, so I can still play the pop, I can still play the rock, you know, I can go wherever I need to. But like, it's really dope to be able to stay true to my brand and then work with a brand as big as the Mariners.
Yeah, man. OG Blast, DJ Blast, the official DJ for the Seattle Mariners. Yo, you ever see yourself taking the Blast Fest on the road? All right, I mean, maybe get ahead of yourself because you talk about the first show in Seattle, but like, yo, down the line, do you ever see yourself taking that on the road?
Yeah, and God willing, that's the goal, right? I'll be really transparent when I say this. Like, I look at Rolling Loud like one of the ultimate blueprints. You know, like what they're doing, you know, with hip hop festivals, both, you know, nationally across the US and internationally, you know, going to Thailand and London and all these other places, Canada, Toronto, you know, like that's what I hope to be able to do. You know, Afrobeats is the fastest growing genre in the world right now. You know, so the idea that the entire globe over the next decade or so won't be vibing to Afrobeats is a miss, you know? So I think we're positioning ourselves in year one and year two to grow to where we can move around the entire globe, you know, starting from year 3 and year 4.
Okay, do you feel like Afrobeats kind of replaced reggae in any form?
I feel like Afrobeats replaced hip hop.
yo, I'm about to get to that. It's kind of a double question right here, because like the first time, and I could be wrong, so excuse me if like I'm wrong, but like the reports are the first time in almost 30 years, hip hop hasn't had one record charted in #1 so far in 2023. And
Hasn't.
I mean, what do you think? I mean, I'm sure like you got love for hip hop too. Like, what do you think is the cause of that? And then like, you think Afro beats is kind of gonna step right in place with it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, 1,000%, bro. I think in a lot of ways, hip hop just became unrelatable, right? Like, so I'm 30 years old, you know, and in my life, like, I'm not at a point where I'm high all the time, or I want to talk about drugs, or I want to talk about drinking. It's not about the next woman, and not in those words, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
dealing with the ops and all that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I'm not trying to talk about killing people. I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not where I'm at in my life. Nor was it really where I was at 21, but at 21 I was a lot more lenient, I guess, right? You know, whereas like Afro beats is a sound that's literally all about loving your people. You know what I'm saying? Making money, enjoying life, right? Every single song makes you happy. You know, like there's a joy that comes along with that sound. And reggae kind of solved that for a little bit, right? Like you had the breakthroughs like the Sean Pauls and the Beanie Mans, you know what I'm saying? And even now you still see the Popcons of the world, people like that. They're still like in the mix. But there's a way that Afro beats is going mainstream with multiple artists that reggae didn't have the opportunity to. You know,
yo, what's the difference between Afro beats and reggae, like sonically?
Reggae is a derivative of Afro beats. So Afrobeat, no S, right? Started in the 60s from a dude named Fela Kuti, right? And that just continued to grow. And then you get from Fela Kuti, you get the head of reggae, you could kind of call it Bob Marley, right? You know what I'm saying? And Bob Marley developed and crafted that sound into what we know to now be soca, dance hall, you know, it's like all these other vibes, right? But those are all derivatives from the initial Afro beats, one singular, not with the S. And then you go further than that, you know, to where we are now, Afro beats, that's where you get the heads, like the Davidos, the Wizkid, the Burna Boys, Remas, Ashake, CK, you know, all these different people. And that's really how, you know, the sound has disseminated. Now, when you talk about, I don't like to put them against each other because they are two different sounds, but Afro beats, I think, has started to encapsulate what is Black culture. And you see a lot of white, Hispanic, Black artists hopping on that wave. 21 Savage just dropped a song with Burna Boy on Monday, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you see everybody starting to move in that direction because, and people, again, I don't even think rappers want to talk about killing and ops no more. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more to life than that.
It's crazy. I run an FM radio station. I mean, we play timeless hip hop and R&B. We mix in the old with the new, but yeah, like, you know, when I'm on the road, whatever, man, I'm listening to podcasts now. Like, I don't really listen to music like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's crazy. But, you know, have you ever tried your hand in making music yourself?
Yeah, I tried producing for a little bit, and I thought that was like the next logical step for me. You know, like I've been DJing for long enough. I was like, let me start producing so I can start really, you know, making some cash. But yeah, that was not my strong point. I did a beat a day for a month and a half, and I was like, yeah, I'm good. And I posted it every day on my story because I thought that was my way of being accountable, and I realized it wasn't it for me. So what I ended up doing, again, like I'm a business person. I got my degree in business, you know, business engineering essentially. And like, I've always been like business savvy. And so like moving into this festival space, yes, I'm DJing, but simultaneously I'm running it. I'm the CEO, I'm the founder, you know? So at the point that I stopped DJing and I pulled back from that, like I'll still be able to run it as a media conglomerate, you know? So.
I mean, it sounds like to run a whole festival on your shoulder seems like a lot. Do you have like a lot of people like kind of in tow, you know what I mean, helping you out with the whole putting together?
Yeah, like I have a solid team around me. Like, you know, they say uneasy lies the head that wears the crown, right? You know, so like I know there's a lot of stress that I personally deal with, but there's a lot of people around me that keep me going. You know, like I have my friends, I have my family, like I have people that literally surround me with good energy, good vibes. You know, like there's dedicated roles. You know, there's the event planner, media coordinator, you know, director of operations, things like that you know we've sourced and we've worked on. But then there's just people that just show up and just check in, you know. So obviously by year 2, the team gonna have to be a lot bigger. But year 1, you know, it's a little bit more scrappy.
No, I feel that. Yo, talk about like some of the international shows. You know, I mean, you mentioned, you know, being alongside with Wizkid, and you mentioned Ballistic and all that. We interviewed folk Ballistic. You know, big of him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, talk about you know, your whole international run a little bit.
Yeah, so very first international show I did was with Wizkid. We did Edmonton, Canada. You know, we did Union Hall. We went out there, and that was mad. You know, like that was my first time. I had been to Canada multiple times, but that was my first time DJing outside the United States. And it was like, it's Canada, so it's close, but it was like, this is crazy, you know?
Yeah.
Just the fact that all these people showed up, and that was the first time I felt like for lack of better words, like people started like reaching out to me before the event, like, hey, we trying to do this, we trying to do this, we trying to do this. And it was like, oh, this is kind of what it feels like. And that was back in 2018 when he had just dropped a hit called Fever. Then, you know, shortly after that, like this past year for the first time, again, I'm born and raised in Lagos, Nigeria. I got to DJ in Nigeria for the past time, you know, this past January, you know, and that was cool to go back home, be in Ghana, be in Nigeria, and like have the opportunity to share my music, you know. Those are my experiences as to where, you know, like I'm excited to see, you know, what comes in the future. I had the opportunity to DJ for Burna and all them like in Atlanta. And then I've toured the entire U.S. for the most part, you know, done the Fillmore in Maryland, done the Fillmore in San Francisco, like L.A., wherever, you know, moving around.
Yeah, man, my man OG Blast out here moving around, you heard? So, yeah, like, I mean, again, you came from modest beginnings as far as being a DJ. Like, you know, you working at Microsoft, and then they ask you to DJ, and then boom, you over here being a tour DJ. Like, talk about some of the challenges of that, man. That's crazy.
You know, so I still work in Microsoft till today.
Okay.
And you know, it's real interesting, like trying to juggle and balance both. Luckily, you know, I only DJ at night for the most part, you know what I'm saying? And then Microsoft takes my time during the day. So it's a cool balance, but it's it's challenging, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes meetings overlap, or I got to, you know, switch the schedule around to make things work. I think it all boils down to like constant communication, right? You know, like letting my manager know how I feel on one side, making sure, you know, everyone on the DJ side knows what's going on, like, and making sure I really just don't drop the ball. More and more lately, it has been a bit of a struggle, but I think overall, like I've had the opportunity, you know, really to have a really amazing career at Microsoft and a really amazing career mixing. And they don't always conflict, you know, so it's a good thing.
Not for you. I mean, we ain't counting your pockets over here, man. But what you like? What you do at Microsoft, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got.
I'm a program manager. Yeah, so I work on Word, PowerPoint, and Excel.
Oh wow! All right. Yeah, you get Afrobeats, you know what I mean? Get your laptop right, you know what I'm saying? Right.
I appreciate it.
Man, do it all, man. Throw a festival right after. But yeah, man. So yeah, like everybody want to stay in tune, man. And you know, in fact, before we do that, like, do you ever do any like outside of like tour DJing? Like, do you DJ like any on any platforms? People want to hear your mix, anything like that? You know what I mean? How can people stay in tune with that if you do just that?
I used to drop a lot of mixes on SoundCloud and stuff like that, but they kept getting stolen.
Okay.
You know, like I remember one time, you know, my sister, she lived in Dunwoody in Atlanta, and she texted me. She was like, "I'm at a party and they're playing your mix." Like that's straight up. You know? But the DJ was hyping it like it was his. You know,
yeah, that's crazy.
I stopped dropping mixes. But you know, like now, for the most part, I'm going to be in a city near you. You know what I'm saying? That's just kind of how it goes, right? Like, once the festival's over, I'm going to go back on tour, and so I'll always be in a city near you. Find me on Instagram at OG Blast, and that's the easiest way to stay tapped in. Because I post just about everything on my story. You know, and if you want to hear some good Afrobeats music, some good hip hop, R&B, reggae, whatever sort of vibes you into, I'm probably going to touch them. In the city near you.
Yeah, man. I mean, speaking of that, any plans on the East Coast, man?
I got to come back to the East Coast soon. I did the East Coast run earlier this year in April. I did DC, I did New York, I did Province. You know, and so now, like as I'm going to get ready for the second half of the year after the festival, I got to make my way back to the East Coast. There's always love over there.
Yeah, man, we got how you come through, man. DJ live on the air over here with us, man. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk about that later. You know what I mean? But yeah, we gotta get that done, bro. All right, man. So yeah, man. As far as the Blast Fest is going down, give them the date. You know what I mean? And how they can get tickets. I'm gonna try my best to be there. Believe that. You know what I mean? I love flying out west. So you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to be there for sure. You know what I mean? Give everybody details on that real quick.
Yeah, the festival on July 29th, 2023. And it's going to be really from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Again, Ashake is the headliner. You can find tickets at blastmusicfest.com. And yeah, like come out, come have a good time, enjoy yourself. Bring your flags, represent your countries, even United States flags, whatever it is that you want to bring. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. We're going to enjoy ourselves.
Yeah, we have it, man. DJ Blast, OG Blast, 929, worldwide 929, man. We're going to play some Afrobeats joints right now. It's only right. So, you know,
right.
Thanks again for checking in with us, bro.
Yep.
All right, we off here.